Ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Hello and welcome to my 100% walkthrough reboot for Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. As I'm sure you know at this point, this wonderful, fantastic game that is easily my #2 game ever made, second only to Dragons of 3D Return to the Lair by a very, very slim margin, is getting a remake. Later this year, it will be it's already being remade, but the release, the remaster, the rehydrated edition will come out at some point later this year, and I will be covering it with a 100% blind Let's Play when that comes. But for the time being, in preparation for the day when it releases, I figured I should remake my original walkthrough, just as a trip down memory lane for those of you who watched the original walkthrough, or if you have no idea what this game is and you're just like, oh, the SpongeBob game's getting remade, that seems odd, then allow me to show you this wonderful game that I love so much, and I'm going to be completely 100% in anticipation of the remake releasing later this year. So let's just press the start button. New game. Yes, we're ready to save game. We'll save. Just give you an idea of how much I played this game. All 3 slots have been overridden. It's been a while since I played this game. Whoa, well, I can't wait to get started. Alright, we'll overwrite the most recent one. Are you ready? A game already exists? Would you like to overwrite? Yes, I would. Let's begin the game.
Welcome to Bikini Bottom, a normally peaceful undersea sanctuary. Today it will be transformed into a theater of pure horror, wherein our little yellow friend will play the starring role.
Today is the big day. I have devised an ingenious plan to finally steal the Krabby Patty formula. And if Bikini Bottom happens to get demolished in the process, oh well. With my brand new Duplicatotron 3000, I'll clone an army of robots that will wreak mayhem and destruction at my command. One last review of the checklist. Let's see. Item number 1. Is Plankton a genius? Answer yes. Okay, checklist complete. Throw in the switch. Welcome, my perfectly obedient robot army. Hang on. I want to get a photo for my scrapbook. Hey, hello? What do you think you're doing? Oh, no, wait. But I'm your master. I made you. No, oh, my good China.
Another perfect day playing robots and racehorses.
Yeah, only I keep getting the racehorses and the robots mixed up.
Wouldn't it be great if we had real robots to play with, Patrick? I'd name mine Robo Jr. or Zorlon or maybe Frankie.
Yeah, these unreal robots are getting boring. Hey, what if we put the robots in here?
Oh, how shellfish of you.
It's not just any shell. It's my magic wishing shell.
Wow, that's great, Patrick.
So we put the toy robots in here.
Okay.
Then we say the magic wishing words and shake the magic wishing shell.
Okay.
Then we go to sleep, and in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with.
But, Patrick, aren't we going to say the magic wishing words?
You already did.
So, okay is the magic wishing word?
It used to be Alakazama Alabala Wiesna Tikitana Fushbar Griddle Bits von Wiederschnauzer, but I kept forgetting it.
Are you sure this'll work?
Sure. Last week, I only had one big cookie crumb and I was really hungry. So I put my cookie crumb in the magic wishing shell. Then I said the magic wishing word and shook it. And in the morning, I had lots of little cookie crumbs.
Patrick, I proclaim that tomorrow is going to be the best day ever.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Good night, Patrick.
The next morning.
Gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, play with robots, gonna play with... Whoa! Gary, did you do that? Yeah, Gary, it sure looks like we're in a doozy of a pickle. I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot in order to fix this mess. Meow. What a fantastic idea! These signs will provide important tips to help me out. How do I read the signs? Meow. Oh, okay. Press this button to read the signs. Meow. So if I want to come back and talk to you again, just walk up to you and press this button. I'd better get started now, Gary. I think that this is going to be a very long day.
Okay, so welcome to the main game. First things first, let's get the controls out of the way. Left stick to move around, A button to jump. If you just tap the A button once, it'll do a small jump, but if you hold it down, you do a higher jump. And then if you double tap, it'll be a double jump, as is to be expected. X button is your attack button. B button doesn't do anything yet. If you press the Y button, you'll do a bubble bash into the air, which is useful for attacking any enemies that are directly above you. The white button doesn't do anything. Black button will show you your stats, such as your health in the top left-hand corner of the screen, your spatula count, your shiny object count, and your sock count. All of these things I will explain in this episode, but for the time being, with the controls we have now, right trigger, as was just explained, we can use to talk to people.
Give me some credit, Gary. I remember. Press this button to read the signs.
And for the time being, left trigger doesn't do anything. Also, this is being played on the Xbox edition of the game, so if you are playing on the GameCube, PlayStation, or PlayStation 2, then your control scheme will be different, but the controls are pretty similar between all of them, if I remember correctly. I think X and B might be swapped for GameCube, but with the orientation of the controller, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Anyway, so, the first thing I want to explain to you is the concept of shiny objects. So there are, I believe, 50 shiny objects in this room for us to collect. And shiny objects, as I'm sure you might be able to discern, are our form of currency in this game. So we can use these things, not so much to buy upgrades or anything like that, but to give us access to certain areas of the level. And we're going to do that in a second, just after we get a little mission from Mr. Krabs.
Note from Mr. Krabs! And it even smells sweaty, just like him.
Ahoy there, Spongebob! As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector.
Wow! A promotion!
That's right, a promotion! So what this here new job entails is you collecting all these shiny objects that the robots are leaving behind and bringing them to me. Now stop seahorsing around and get busy collecting.
So, as you can see, Mr. Krabs is going to give us a little special reward whenever we bring him a certain number of shiny objects, but we'll cover all that in due time. But once we leave SpongeBob's house, I'll explain this in a bit more detail. But you remember how I said that there was 50 shiny objects in this room, and there's only 48? Well, because the other one is right on top of this door. And then there's a few more shiny objects in here. But the reason why I know there was exactly 50 there is because I watched a lot of speedruns of this game, and that's the quickest way to get out of the house. But this is not a speedrun guide, this is a 100% walkthrough as to how to beat the game regularly. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but the right stick controls the camera. So, if I didn't mention that until now, I apologize, but yeah, that's how you control the camera. If you push it left, it'll spin the camera right. If you pull it right, it'll spin the camera left. Push up to turn the camera down, pull down to turn the camera up. Okay, so now we have 60 shiny objects, which means we do technically have enough to unlock this door right now. But we're not going to do that because we want to unlock this door instead. So, as you saw there, we had 60 shiny objects, now we have 50 because we used 10 of those to unlock access into SpongeBob's bedroom. And that's basically how you gain access to certain areas. So there's another door right there with 20 shiny objects, and we could also unlock that now. We're going to do that in a second, just as soon as we get the remaining shiny objects in this room. SpongeBob jump, yeah, I already explained the whole jumping mechanic. And as I said previously, we can hold the A button or double tap the A button with the long jumps I mentioned previously, or the high jumps I mentioned previously, to get on top of here and bounce on top of the springboard. Why does SpongeBob have a springboard on top of his bed? I have no idea. It's SpongeBob logic, don't question it. Anyway, so I explained the concept of shiny objects and using them to access new areas, but now what I want to explain is the concept of your health, which as you can see is represented in the top left-hand corner of the screen by 3 little underwear slots. So, now I'm going to let the sign do all the talking. This is a pair of SpongeBob's underwear. SpongeBob will lose a pair of underwear every time he gets hit by a robot or touches dangerous objects or surfaces. Like this. Once SpongeBob has lost all his underwear, he must start the area over again. SpongeBob may get back underwear he has lost by collecting another additional pairs along the way. SpongeBob starts out by wearing 3 pairs of underwear, but there are special pairs of golden underwear hidden in Bikini Bottom, which, if found, will allow SpongeBob to wear more than 3 pairs at a time. SpongeBob can check how many pairs of underwear he has on by pressing the black button. So, as I mentioned previously, underwear is your health. We lost one because we got hit by the safe that's just hiding in the ceiling. So now we only have 2, but we can grab this one conveniently placed right here, and we will now be back at full health. So that's how that works. Anyway, now we can proceed through this doorway right here and access SpongeBob's attic.
Keep all my
And it is in this room we are going to get our hands on not just a golden spatula, but on a sock. And all these signs are going to help you explain how to play the game. So, yeah, but this is all stuff I explained previously. This to do a bubble spin, this is explaining the bubble bounce. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't explain that. Thank you for reminding me, Sign. So the B button doesn't do anything initially, but if you jump into the air and then press the B button, you'll do a little bit of a ground pound attack. I missed horribly, but don't worry about that. But that's basically how they call it a bubble bounce. I'm probably going to be calling it the ground pound. So we're going to use it on this button in a minute here. But then this, I'm pretty sure, explains the bubble bash, which is what I explained previously. Can't believe I forgot to explain the bubble bounce. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to find a golden spatula and a sock in here. The sock is hiding right up there. And the gold, oh sorry, not in here, but the golden spatula is back in the closet. But this is the last thing we have to do before we get the golden spatula. Anyway, so how do we get that sock? Well, the first thing we want to do, which doesn't have anything to do with anything, but still, if we hit this button, it'll cause a bunch of blocks to fall from the ceiling, and there's a bunch of shiny objects here that you want to collect anyway. But to actually initiate the process, what you want to do is, the first thing you want to do is jump and then press the B button to do a bubble bounce on this button. All you have to do is just not miss horribly like I did. Now that trampoline is in place, you want to head over here and bubble bash into this button to cause a beach ball to fall out. And what you could do is you could use, and now you want to use the beach ball to go over here, jump on top of it, and then hit this button right here. That causes a 26-second timer to start. And then you want to run as fast as you can over to the trampoline. And the reason why we activated all the signs first is so that we wouldn't get stopped by the signs while we're going over here. And you want to jump your way across these platforms like so, to grab the sock on top of here. You know, something I did there is I jumped twice, A button, then pressed the X button to do a bubble spin to stall my momentum mid-air to allow me to cross bigger gaps. So that's a neat little trick that you might want to learn, because I'm going to be using this a lot throughout the course of the walkthrough. Anyway, that's this room taken care of, so now we can head on out through the bedroom, grab these two shiny objects on top of the chest over here. And now that we have completely cleared out Spongebob's house, we can head over to the closet, open it up, and our first golden spatula is waiting inside. So let's go ahead and collect it. This is a golden spatula. Golden spatulas are needed to unlock new areas of Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob will need to collect many golden spatulas in order to find and defeat the source of the rampaging robot. So, you know how in Super Mario 64 you collect Power Stars, in Super Mario Galaxy you collect Power Stars, and in Super Mario Odyssey you collect Power Moons? Well, basically that's the same thing here, except instead of any of those things, it's a golden spatula. So, it's just the game is a 3D platformer collectathon, and the thing you're collecting is the golden spatulas. As for the sock, well, I'll explain what the sock is once we get outside, but for now, that's what golden spatulas are, so let's collect our first golden spatula of the game. And that is everything that we can do in SpongeBob's house, so now what we want to do is, now that we've obtained our first golden spatula, we can head over to this door right here, and access the rest of Bikini Bottom.
There's nothing like the sounds of your own neighborhood.
Go away, SpongeBob. You're polluting my thinking space.
Trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula again, eh, Plankton? Well, you won't get away with it.
I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to figure out how to regain control of the chum bucket from those robots.
Where did they come from?
Where? I don't know. Not for me, though, that's for sure. They just showed up out of nowhere and started calling me rude names and throwing things. They even bent all my spoons. I love those spoons like they were my children.
That's terrible.
Oh, won't you help me stop them? Before they bend all my forks?
Not the forks! Of course I'll help. But wait, I'm supposed to collect a whole lot of golden spatulas.
Golden spatulas, eh? SpongeBob, if you could get me back into the chum bucket, I'll give you a bucket full of golden spatulas. In your dreams.
You've got a deal.
Okay, so for the time being, we have a little alliance with Plankton, which we all know how well that's going to go. But this is Bikini Bottom, your hub world for the rest of the game. It's divided into 3 sections. This first part right here, the second part over here, over by where you see the Shady Shoals building and Sandy's treehouse, and then the third part all the way over there in the distance that we're going to be getting to in a very long ways away. But for now, we're restricted to this first area right here, and this is the neighborhood. So, basically, you see that little gateway over there with the 15 spatula mark over it? Each area is gatekept by a boss of some kind. So once you beat the boss of that area, you can proceed into the next part of Bikini Bottom. And we could go as soon as we get 15 golden spatulas, but I'm going to 100% each area of the game at a time before moving on to the next one, at least as much as I can do. So if there's something that requires an ability from later in the game that I need to come back here, then I'll obviously save that for later. But I'm going to 100% it as much as I can. Anyway, remember earlier Mr. Krabs gave us a mission about collecting shiny objects? Well, let's go ahead and talk to him about that.
Bob, This flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
No more fry cooking?
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course make a small profit in return. I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects.
You will?
Of course. What are employers for? Besides, them shiny objects is worth lots of money. Your treasure chest's looking a bit light, boy. Do you think I've got bilge water on the brain? I ain't running a charity here. Come back when you've got enough shiny objects to trade.
So, just to give you an idea, he wants 3,000 shiny objects. We have 33. And if we pause the game to scroll down to the bottom and see all of the future... Well, oh, actually, we can't see them yet. These demands get really, really high. It's ridiculous. It's easily the weakest part of the game. Well, the second weakest part of the game is the fact that these spatulas exist, because it's just shiny object grinding. So we're gonna save these for last. I haven't quite decided whether I want to do what I did in my first walkthrough or show you a different method, but either way, just know that I will make collecting... I'll make it so that getting these shiny objects is as painless as possible. So, for now, we're gonna ignore them, just know that they are a thing we'll have to deal with in the future. But now what we want to do is, there's a golden spatula up on top of SpongeBob's pineapple. You can see something shimmering in the top there, and we want to get our hands on that golden spatula. So there's two buttons we have to press. The first button that we are going to want to press is this button right over here. You want to bubble bash into it by pressing the Y button. And that will initiate a 40-second timer. So now what you want to do is you want to run. I started running the incorrect direction here. That's nice. You want to bubble bounce your way on top of these tikis right here to start another platform moving. And you may think that we should have hit this one first because this one doesn't have a registered timer. But the reason why we hit the other one first is because we move in the direction from that button to this button so that we don't have to start here and then go back and forth. It's more about the flow of anything, the flow of it than anything else. So now, you'll notice we collected a pair of golden underwear from the top of Squidward's house right here, which now means we can wear 4 pairs of underwear at any given time. And so now I'm actually going to wait out a little bit, just because I spent some time explaining the fact that we got a gold pair of golden underwear from here, and you may think to yourself, why are you letting the timer right now? Because now the platforms are here and we can't get over there. Well, that's the way you're supposed to get over there, and I would recommend you do it as well. But just because I took the extra time to explain the golden underwear, I didn't want to risk fate. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to jump down onto this pair of balloons right here, then turn to the right, and then double jump over here to get the golden spatula. You notice that I was doing that spin stalling thing where I press the A button twice and then press X to stall myself in midair. As I said, I'm going to be doing that a lot in this walkthrough. Anyway, that's another golden spatula collected, so now we're going to jump out of this pineapple before I get myself a headache. And now let's go talk to Squidward.
First, those stupid robots ruined a perfectly relaxing mud bath this morning, and now you show up. Can my day get any more dreary?
I am so sorry, Squidward. Patrick and I were just playing a game.
Oh, I correct myself. I should have known that whole robot problem involved both of you.
Squidward, I don't know what to do. How can I fix everything?
Why don't you move to another town? That should help out more than enough. Move to another town. I cracked me up. But seriously, just jump around like an idiot. That should at least make me smile.
Okay, so there's 2 things we have to do in this house. The first thing is exactly what he said, just jump around like an idiot. You have to jump 3 times before Squidward just gets so annoyed with you. But we're actually not going to jump all 10 times now, because now what we want to do is the other thing you have to do is that's to get a gold spatula from. But if you want to actually get your hands on a sock in the meantime, then you also want to destroy every single thing in Squidward's house. So that's everything destroyed except for this analyst statue, so we're going to jump up and press X.
Okay, just stop jumping, will you? If you take this golden spatula, will you please go away?
See, Squidward? I knew that you could help me out. You're the best.
Don't touch me.
I was hoping we were going to be able to get that before it pulled me away, but what you can do, I suppose. So that causes, once you destroy everything in here, every breakable object, as you say, it'll cause a socket spawn over by the window, so we're going to grab this, grab the golden spatula, and then we are done with Squidward's house. And that is actually the last golden spatula we're going to be collecting in this video. The rest of the stuff we're going to be doing, which is actually just getting our hands on 2 more socks, is going to be heading out into Bikini Bottom. And there's one more neighbor we've yet to talk to. Patrick! And look at that, there's a sock right by his foot.
Hey, Patrick. Nice sock.
What sock?
The one you're standing on.
Oh, that one. It's lost.
Well, if that one's lost, where are your other socks?
Oh, they're more lost. A bunch of robots came through here and stole my whole sock collection. I could use some help getting them back.
Sure thing, Patrick. What are best friends for?
Okay then, for every 10 socks you bring back to me, I'll give you a golden turkey baster.
You mean spatula?
Bless you.
So much like Mr. Krabs, he has an exchange deal going on. We bring him socks, he gives us golden spatulas, except that this is way more manageable than Mr. Krabs ever it could be, because collecting socks is actually kind of fun. So all the socks that we found up until this point are all ones that Patrick has misplaced as a result of the robots. So that's good to keep in mind. Interestingly enough though, there is actually one sock hidden inside Patrick's rock. And to get it, all you gotta do is just hit the couch. And the sock spawns in right there. But before you get it, what we're going to want to do is we're going to stand at the highest point right here, and then bubble bash our way up into this extra special blue shiny object right there. Grab the sock, grab these shiny objects right here, and bubble bounce our way down here. And now we can head on out through the ladder. And that is everything that we're going to be doing in this episode. We have 3 golden spatulas and 4 socks. The only other thing that you can do is you can talk to Bubble Buddy over here.
I just dropped by to give you a bubble hand.
Bubble Buddy.
You see, you're going to need to learn some new bubble-blowing moves if you're going to journey to the 9th dimension and defeat the giant monkey man.
But all I need to do is figure out how to get rid of these robots.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've been in the soap bottle a little too long. Where were we?
Something about new bubble moves?
Right! Press this button, and you'll launch yourself straight up in the air with bubble power that defeats anything that is directly above you. Try it out!
Yeah, it's just explaining the bubble bash move that we've learned a lot of until this point. But before we do that, we're going to park our way on top of here to get another special blue shiny object, and then we can just bubble bash the rest of these to break them. So this episode was mainly a tutorial episode, just to get you used to the control scheme, to get used to the idea of golden spatulas, of socks, of shiny objects, and everything that this game has to offer. So by this point, you should be ready to tackle your first level, and that is what we are going to be doing in the next episode. So, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!